tutorial. So in this video we're going to be diving in on how to start and host a poll. So assuming you already have a question deck, we'll get started by hitting start a poll. We'll create a name. And that will bring us to our lobby page where you can see the join code is up here, and participants can use this in the join poll tab, enter it in, and they will automatically be added. And here we have our participant, Brennan. Thanks, Brennan, for helping with this. Before we get started, just want to show that if you click on their name, you have the option to ban any user that's joined your poll. But we're not going to do that with him. We'll just go ahead and hit begin. That takes us to our first question. What is the name of BYU's mascot? And you'll notice the timer is red over here, and that's just because for the last 20 seconds, the timer will turn red. And this question had a time limit of 20 seconds. So we're just waiting for that to finish. And as soon as the timer ends, there will be no more responses allowed, but we already have our one. And we'll see that, yep, Cosmo Cougar was the right answer. There we go. Before we move on to the next question, I just want to show this button right here with this graph icon. It says View Responses. That will open up a new tab in here where we can see there's this nice chart showing the frequency of each response. So we only have one. If we had more, we could see if there's a distribution, if maybe people got confused, and we can show the answers on here too. There's a different representation for each question type, but they all do a good job of explaining how people did. On to our next question. What is your favorite flavor at the BYU Creamery? So you'll notice on this question, since there is no time limit, the timer counts up, and looks like we have our one response. So in order to end this question, we need to hit this stop question right here. And a word cloud will generate for this one because there wasn't a correct answer. And if there were more responses or more popular responses, they'd be bigger, and we would have a whole cloud here, but there's just one. On to our next question, which is what year was BYU founded? And while we're waiting for a response on this one, just want to show that down here there's some settings where you can edit some of the question settings, like whether or not the correct answer displays when the question ends. But we have a response, so let's end that and just go on to the next question. You don't have to hit the stop question. If you hit the next question button, it'll automatically stop it, but you have that option if you want to review the question as well. Alright, so this last question is an ordering question. So participants are given a randomized list of these items, and they have to sort and then submit them in the correct order. So that might take a while. While we're doing that, I want to show what happens if we click on this questions here. That will take us to our poll overview page, where we can go back to the lobby by viewing the pollers, view the stats. We can go back to the question that we were just on, and you can see this list of questions here. Used questions are grayed out, and then ones that we haven't used are white. And then we have impromptu questions, which we'll get back and do in a second. But let's go back and re-enter. We've got our response. There we go. That's the correct order. Now if we wanted to, we could hit the end session button here, which would just end it, kick everyone out. But before we do that, let's demonstrate how we can use an impromptu question, which is a question that's specific to this poll. So it will only exist in this poll. And one nice thing we can do is if we hit this use templates, we can create an impromptu question that just copies one of the question deck questions if we want to re-ask it. So let's do what is your favorite flavor at the BYU Creamery. We hit save. You'll notice it shows up down here underneath the impromptu question section, and we'll just go ahead and start that. Alright, and then once we have our response, hit stop. There's the word cloud with the one word generating again. Go back to question, and that wraps up this video, so we can go ahead and hit stop session right there.